Recording.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first volunteers meeting. I just wanted to welcome everyone and hope everyone please everyone be open-minded. If you have any questions, you can answer. You can ask them at the end of the speaker's time, and then we can go on to the next speaker. We have 3 speakers today. We have Manoj, Ayonike, and Godwin. Manoj is the founder of SkilledUp. Ayonike is the HR, and Godwin is the volunteer acquisition. So I'm not sure who wants to start first in terms of telling us more about SkilledUp. I don't know, Manoj?
Okay, so SkilledUp Life is a two-sided marketplace. On one side, we are trying to solve the problem of how do you get that job, because employers are now asking for experience. How do you get experience? Especially if you are starting up for the first time from, you may have a education, a university education, or from a boot camp or another private organization. You don't, you have the knowledge, but it's hard to prove that you have experience. So what SkilledUp Life is trying to do is to solve that problem. You could sign up. All you need is access to internet and a positive attitude. If you're happy to put some hours every day for 3 months, you can very quickly gain that experience. Once you got the experience, then you have a higher chance of landing a job, whatever you wish to do. On the other side, we have early stage technology companies who are basically tapping into the volunteer task force and trying to survive and grow their businesses. So we sit in the middle and bring these two parties together, and that's our role. Thank you.
Okay, so for all the new people who just joined, Manoj basically gave us a synopsis of what SkilledUp is. It's a tech company. It's a company that helps tech startups. So we use free talent in order to upscale other companies as well as ourselves. Our next speaker is Ayonike. She helps with HR. She is also a volunteer. Ayonike, you can take the stand now.
Okay, I'm Ayonike Okereke from Nigeria. I'm a lawyer by training, and I wanted to get into the tech space. It's something I love and been exploring for a while. And during my search, I got to know about SkilledUp Life, and I thought that this will really help me in scaling up my skills if I need to work with tech startups. I've had some experiences, but I thought I needed to sharpen my skills in order to offer more services to new tech startups that I may want to in the future work for. So that's why I joined SkilledUp Life. And I've been, I'm presently the head of HR, and I'm involved in the recruitment, the onboarding, the interview, and it's been quite an interesting journey and very challenging too, if I may add.
So Ayonike, you spoke about you being the head of HR. Will you please take us through the selection process from when someone starts a profile on SkilledUp to the final stages of being selected, the interview process, and onboarding?
Okay, when a volunteer applies, it's required that the volunteer completes their profile. And once that is done, we weigh that side by side with the opportunities that are available, that are open to such applicant. So in the process, we review the applications, then we shortlist. After that, we send what we call the pre-qualification questionnaire to show, just to have an idea of what the applicant will be able to do. Like, you ask some basic questions. How many hours are you willing to offer? Do you have internet connection? Are you presently employed? We ask all those basic questions, so we're able to assess whether when the volunteer comes on board, the applicant comes on board, will also be able to balance work with SkilledUp Life. Then after that, once we see that the person's profile fits the role we want, we shortlist, we do an interview. After that, if we ask some basic questions, and once we are satisfied, the next stage will be for the person to sign an agreement that we call the volunteer agreement. So after the agreement, then Manoj, is the founder, generates email so that we're able to communicate among ourselves. Then we onboard, introducing the person to the workings within SkilledUp Live. Then the training is on 2 levels. We do the general training by HR, where the new volunteer is given a general overview of how SkilledUp Life works. Then also we have team training, where the volunteer also undergoes training within his or her team to understand what is expected of the role of such a volunteer within that team. So after that process, then the person starts volunteering. Just a pretty straightforward process. So that's it for me.
Okay. Also, I wanted to find out, you are still a volunteer. So this is still your volunteer. So you're doing this mostly because you want the experience of HR. Would you say that it's been a good experience working with SkilledUp and working with Manoj?
Extremely so. It's interesting. Initially, it wasn't planned. I didn't actually intend to come into the role of HR. Because of my legal background, I was actually looking for an opportunity in the legal space, but the HR was there. And I decided to latch on that. And because once I had that opportunity, because I had exposure to HR, not in formal settings, because I run my own law firm. So I've been able to do a few things, engaging people, interviewing, but not in formal setting. And since joining SkilledUp Live, it's been very interesting. I really enjoy it, really. And it's been interesting working with Manoj. Manoj pushes you, he wants to get the best out of you. And one of the most interesting things working with SkilledUp Live are the skills you are exposed to, the tools you are exposed to. So you are made to you get abreast of tools in the workplace that will enhance your performance. And because of the challenges that you face while there and your ability to think on your feet to prefer solutions, it also helps you, and so that by the time you are leaving SkilledUp Life, you are well equipped, because these are real life instances, challenges, issues that you are solving in real time. These are workplace issues. So you are able to provide solutions to them. You're able to think without someone breathing down your neck. So for me, it's been an interesting experience, journey. Like I said, it's not been all good because it's been rocky. You've had 1 or 2 challenges, but they are good challenges because they prepare you for other challenges that you may want to face while in the course of pursuing your interest in the future.
All right, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Ayonike in terms of getting hired by SkilledUp, and the process. Like she did say at the beginning, you have to complete your SkilledUp profiles in order for them to recognize you on, because there's a lot of people who have not completed their profiles, which to us looks, so when you apply for jobs, it will look incomplete. So please, if you are interested, please complete your profiles. But if you have any questions for Ayonike, you can raise them now and she can answer them for you. Okay, our next speaker is Godwin. Godwin is the volunteer acquisitionist, and I'll let him tell you guys more about his role in SkilledUp.
Oh, okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Godwin Mayaki. I am based out of Abuja, Nigeria. I am part of the acquisition team and also the marketing team. Well, for me, the experience has been wonderful. I did join SkilledUp Live really because I wanted to grow my personal network, get friends, acquaintances from across the world. And it has been a wonderful experience. I certainly have gotten to know Manoj, Mithun, and the many others we work with every day. So I think the journey on SkilledUp Live has been a wonderful one. And certainly for every other person who is a member of the team, I think we have the same experience, that experience of being around colleagues who are ready to do the job and get things working. So generally speaking, I think the SkilledUp Life environment is one that supports personal growth and collective results too. So it's wonderful. It's a wonderful one.
Sorry about that. So with your volunteership, your volunteering at SkilledUp, what are challenges that you've faced? And, from the skills that you've learned from already volunteering, what day-to-day ways have you learned to handle those challenges?
Well, I would say conversion. You see, part of marketing is reaching out. As part of the marketing process, you have to reach out to people, potential volunteers, potential companies and customers alike. I think it's a pretty straightforward process. However, it's not always as it seems. You get a lot of no's and a couple of yeses too. So it's a wonderful one. But then I also like to note that it's common with all marketing processes that situations like that will come up. So I don't think it's anything out of the normal. But then we get a lot of results. I think the platform has been built up to 3,800 plus volunteers, and of course from about 60 something countries. So it's a wonderful one.
Okay, sorry, Josephine has a question for you. Josephine, you can unmute yourself and ask the question if you want.
Hi, everyone. Actually, my question is not directed to him, and I wanted to ask him a question, and I'm sorry if I'll be dragging back, but I joined a bit late. I had network issues. So I just wanted to ask the participants are the ones speaking, or they are like speakers. Sorry, did you get my question?
So yes, please repeat it. You were breaking up.
Oh, okay, sorry. I said sorry back. Like I joined a bit late, so I was confused as to whether the participants were talking or specific speakers were the ones speaking.
Oh no, it was the speakers. So we have three speakers. We had Manoj, the founder
Okay.
of SkilledUp, Ayonike, the head of HR, and we had Godwin, who is the volunteer acquisitionist. So I don't know which question, do you have a question for any one of those people regarding
Yeah,
SkilledUp?
that's my first question. I would ask as we proceed.
Okay. All right, those are all our speakers. But Godwin, Thank you so much for your time. I don't know if you have any questions that you would like to ask me or to ask anyone else in order to find out more about why they're interested in SkilledUp, or yeah, any of the other people that are on the platform right now. Ayonike, you could do the same. Even you, Manoj, I don't know if you know if anyone here has any issues or any questions would want to ask us, and we'll answer them.
Sorry, I could not understand that question earlier.
Oh, okay. No, she was asking what is everyone who was speaking, was it speakers or participants? That's all she wanted clarity on because she joined late.
Okay, okay.
So I don't know if you have any questions or you want to give people some more insight into SkilledUp in terms of those that weren't here at the beginning.
So I think I can speak a little bit until someone has a question. I think the best way is that if you raise your hand, then we can, okay, there goes somebody's raise.
All right, Kunmunilade.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. I actually got to know about SkilledUp from Godwin. I think Godwin sent me a message on LinkedIn and he talked about SkilledUp, and I think I joined, and I'm starting a new role with one of the startups. I think I start on Friday, so I'm really excited for that. Really looking forward to that. But again, my question is for you, Manoj. So again, when I see businesses like this, I can just help to think about what the business model is, what the revenue model is. So I probably just want to understand, probably out of curiosity, because we don't pay to sign up, and I'm not sure if the startup companies, I'm not sure if they also pay. So where does the revenue come from? That's
Okay.
just my curiosity.
It's a good question. Can others unmute, please?
Those are not speaking.
Okay. So we have obviously a two sides to SkilledUp Life. And what we are doing is we are offering the volunteering free. But on the other side, we have early stage technology companies. So we charge them a monthly or annual subscription fee. So they are subscribing to SkilledUp Life, or we are not charging by how many volunteers they work with. So they have, once they subscribe, they have access to unlimited talent. So I'm glad to hear that you got an appointment with one of the companies. If you don't mind, it would be good to hear what that company is. So the companies pay a little bit of money every month. That's obviously we need to generate revenue. And one of the other things we are trying to do is to show that we ourselves can generate revenues as a business using our own volunteers. Now, if we can prove that and we can grow from the tiny company which we are today into a larger company, then I think that will be the best use case to demonstrate the value that volunteers can bring in. There are a lot of prejudices in the system, especially in the UK and in the Western world, that volunteers, because they are free, they won't deliver any real value. So we have to prove that is not the case. And the best way to prove this by also using volunteers such as Godwin and Ayonike and Mpumi. They're all coming on board to gain experience. While gaining experience, they are helping SkilledUp Life to grow. So our subscription is only coming from one side. We think over time that would be sufficient. Obviously, we can adjust that subscription, but we have no plans whatsoever to charge the volunteers. So volunteering is free.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. So if I get you correctly, it's basically a subscription model for the tech companies. It's free for the volunteers, and probably you don't even have you don't have any intention of, extending the subscription model to the volunteers. I think it's really interesting, and it's a really interesting use case, because if I'm to speak for myself personally, I'm just getting into product management, and it's always really difficult for you to find someone to trust you, in terms of the knowledge that you've been able to acquire over time, to trust, to give you that first role, or to give you that big responsibility. And to be sincere, when I got the message from Godwin, I was a little bit skeptical that, because I said, okay, what, let me just give this a try. And I think so far, it's been very positive, and I can't wait to start my 3-month volunteer and, me see what the outcome is. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, so in the future, if we ever charge, it would be for more like a structured program. If we put together, if somebody comes to us and say, I want to, so it could be, let's look at a possible scenario. So there are a lot of people who want to start tech companies. They may not have any idea of how to go about it. So let's say somebody is in a senior position and they want to start a business or tech company. They want to get a wider array of experience before they dive head in. So if they come to us and then say, could you put together a structured program for me? Then we might put something, whereas there's a service element on top of just normal volunteering. So we have no plans ever to charge for 3 months volunteering. And we have team members in our team who has done one. So for example, Vishma came on board in, I think, July last year. She was the first to join our support team. She built up the support team, and then after the first term finished, she wanted to get experience on social media. So she has been managing Instagram account over the last 3 months. And so she's done 2 terms, and she's ending her volunteering with us. And we are, I'm in discussion with Vishma to do something different, but I won't announce it today because it hasn't been signed yet. But we have individuals who have got the experience and gone and got jobs. So the person who set up the HR function for us, a lady called Elise, she didn't have any HR experience or HR education. She joined us, set up a system, built the HR team, and within 3 months she got a job. So Ayonike is our 3rd head of HR, and the 2nd head of HR also got a job. So it's not guaranteed that you will get a job, but the experience you gain, if you really push yourself, you could actually get a lot of experience, especially if you're volunteering for us. We give so much freedom. We give you a chance to push yourself. And there's no limit to what you can achieve. I can't speak for our other companies, but I can speak for how we engage with volunteers.
Hi, Josephine, you can speak.
Oh. Hi. Okay, so my question is directed to SkilledUp Life itself, because I applied for a few voluntary opportunities, and I was sent a mail that I wasn't successful, and they told me to reach out to SkilledUp Life directly to ask why.
Ayonike, are you able to help with this question? Ayonike, are you there?
Yes, I momentarily lost my connection, but I'm back.
Okay, did you hear the question that she had?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so she's applied for a few volunteership positions through SkilledUp, and they've both come back, or the ones that she did apply to came back unsuccessful. So, and then the email said that she should reach out to SkilledUp Life for more clarity as to why her applications weren't successful. Are you able to explain as to why that happened?
One, I don't know what she applied for, but a lot of factors determine whether an application will go through. One, if a volunteer has applied, or an applicant rather, has applied for multiple roles, it may be difficult to pin down what exactly the person wants. So usually we write such an applicant, and once we go through the profile, sometimes we determine the best fit and we make suggestions to advise the person along the most suitable role. But if the applicant wants a particular role, first we advise that all other application to other roles be, what do I say now? Should be deactivated. Then we concentrate on the particular role the applicant is interested in. Then we look at if that applicant really suits or really fits the role he or she has applied for. In most cases, what we have discovered is that some applicants are not really qualified, and that informs rejection. People just put up some things on their profile, and by the time you match up with the requirements of what you want, you see that the person doesn't fit the bill. And I think there's a misconception among applicants or intending volunteers that that we see, possibly because they think it's a volunteer position, people are not fully ready, forgetting that you should also have the mindset that you are coming to add value to the organization. So if you're not properly tooled, that can inform rejection of your application.
Okay, so
Okay.
if I heard you right, you're saying that we are to apply for an opportunity one at a time.
Yes, please.
Okay, then another question is, uploading on my profile, like there was a place where you had to upload your work, and there was a link to the
That you have to upload what? I didn't get that.
Hello, can you hear me?
You said you are supposed to upload something. I didn't get that.
Yes, on my profile. I mean, they ask you to upload your work, what you've done.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the exact word. Okay, so I was trying to upload because I'm so I was trying to upload some of my designs. You know, as little as they were, I couldn't get to upload them. And I was told to upload in lower quality. And I did that when I was not able to upload those, items. So what do you say in that case? And even if I want to upload, that means if I want to upload very, very heavy stuff from my portfolio, I'm not going to be able to upload it. So how do I show recruiters how do I share my work?
You don't have to upload too much. That can get you through the door. If you say, I wouldn't know the positions you applied for, but let's say you put your, okay. So what we do is, for that, we get an expert within the house who is familiar with that. Such a person goes through that, and just on the surface of it, if you're qualified, we get you in. But remember that you are not the only one applying. You have other applicants as well. So there may be people who are better qualified. So that may also inform that. So if we have better hands who are better qualified with more experience, we may not be able to consider even though you have good designs. I hope that answers that. Josephine, can you hear me?
No, I'm with you. That means the recruitment process is not clear. Because what if there are more? Is it like you pick on based on first come, first serve? Because I was not
No,
tested
no,
or asked any question. It
no,
feels like it's a game of luck.
it is not. That's your assumption. What I'm saying is this. Now, if there are 10 applicants,
Okay.
and you have someone who has an edge over you, maybe
Okay.
based on experience, and also has better designs, we will go for that. The fact that it is volunteer doesn't mean we shouldn't go for the best of hands. So we go for the best of hands. And if we feel that you are equally good, and we have more than one positions we want to fill, you will also come in. We have other in our team. We've had to interview 3-4 people that we feel they are good fit for the role. We get them in. So the competition is stiff. You may think that maybe your designs are good, but if we feel that there are other people that are better qualified, we'll go for them.
Okay, is it possible I can say this? Josephine, is it possible you can email SkilledUp Live and then we can take this further that way? We still have 2 more questions and we have literally 5 minutes left. I'll promise you, even Ayonike and I will make sure that we get to your qualification, to your profile, and we'll go through it and then we'll send you an email as to what happened and what's wrong. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. David.
Hi, good evening. It's evening from here. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, so I'm David from Nigeria. So I just want to say a big thank you to SkilledUp for the good job you guys are doing. Yes, I'm one of the beneficiaries of the good stuff coming from SkilledUp. I got to know about SkilledUp, I think, from maybe LinkedIn or so. Then I subscribed and I was like, oh, maybe this will not work or something. But eventually I got a mail that, oh, you can apply for different roles and all that. So particularly my interest lies in engineering, particularly in artificial intelligence. But though I've done a couple of, I've got programs, but I've not really had real world experience. So I just wanted to see if I would be open, if any company would give me opportunity to practice what I've learned in the programs. So I subscribed and luckily I was invited for an interview from one of the companies. And 2 weeks ago, I started my volunteering role. So thank you, SkilledUp, for that opportunity. So my question is, what's the limit one can apply for volunteering position? What is there any limit? Okay, from your profile, you are entitled to maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Is there any limit? Okay, that's one. And then secondly, I checked through the profile or the list. I couldn't see some of the programs, like, okay, no cloud engineering, no artificial intelligence or stuff like that. So though we have project management and other ones, web design and others, but cloud engineering is not there, artificial intelligence is not there. So is there anything that will be done about this? So these are my questions. Thank you.
Okay, let me take the first one, then maybe Manoj will attend to the second. I may attempt it. Now, on the number of roles, is best we advise that you put your best foot forward. That's our advice, because the competition is steep, just as I mentioned earlier on. So if you're applying for a role and you just apply for about 10 roles and there are better qualified applicants, you are most likely to lose out. They may not pick you. But if you put your best foot forward and you're confident that this is something you're good and comfortable with. By the time we see your profile, and at a glance, we're able to assess this person is likely to be a good fit. Then we invite. But one of the challenges we've also discovered is that applicants, when you send them mails, sometimes they don't respond, and there's a timeline. So also when your response time is not fast enough and other people come in, they take on that opportunity, you may also lose out. So once you have applied for a role, it's advisable you follow up. We always respond. Once we go through the applications and we see you're a good fit, we send you a mail. We send you a mail embodying the questionnaire, asking you questions, then you respond. Once you respond, we set up an interview. So if in the course of the interview, we see you're a good fit, you come on board. If otherwise, because you're not the only one we are interviewing for that role, sometimes there are up to 20 applications for one role, and we want the best of hands. So that's that. So I would advise that you put your best foot forward. And then on the issue of the roles that you're talking about that are not readily available, the opportunity, what I want to say is that it's only the opportunities that are open that are advertised. Those are things you have there. So if there are no open roles for those, it will be wise for us to put them up. Manoj, I wouldn't know whether you want to say a few words to that.
I think the time is limited, so there's 1 minute left. I just want to thank everybody for coming online and taking part, and we'll try to do this quite often going forward. In terms of, I think the problem is that some people apply for like 10 roles. It's very hard from the company side because companies are trying to minimize the time spent on interviewing. They just want to pick the best candidate and move forward. So I would urge you to consider applying just for the most relevant role for you. And if you don't hear from a company for within a week, then apply to the next one, so on. But don't try to apply for a large number of them because it's very difficult for us to assess, where does which role are you serious about? And the companies can't see what you have applied for other than their specific roles. So that's the recommendation from us. We're trying to improve the product so that we can actually intentionally limit you from applying for multiple roles because it causes a big problem for the companies.